Hey you guys, it is Sunday, and I know a lot of you guys probably don't really know what that means because you're watching this and it's probably a different day, but Sunday is the only day of the week that we close early, so it's kind of like our content day where I can actually go in and film. I can put my headphones on without getting interrupted, even though I love answering everybody's questions. It's really hard to throw sometimes, so I like to go into the studio after hours because I don't have another space to throw pots and make some work. So you guys are gonna come with me for the first little bit of that, and I'm gonna go film a bunch and have just a fun time. So let's go. I want to show you guys a little bit of what's in my bag because I've got my camera in here. This is literally like, this is how we're going, but this is really hard to do one-handed. I'll have my, ooh, don't look at that. Where's my art page? Here we are. I've got some like sketches. I'm not an artist in this kind of way, okay? But I've got some things that I want to create today, and these are kind of my rough drafts of what I'm going to be working on. So obviously the handles, I am not going to be able to do that today because that is a sculpture on its own and it's during the trimming process. But I'm going to get the vessels thrown today and made and just kind of go from there and see how it goes. So come with me. And let's throw some weird stuff that I drew over the weekend in my little kid dollar store book. All right, you guys, it is empty in here. Hooray! I don't know whether I'm gonna film over here because nobody's here, or if we're gonna go actually film over in the space that I like filming in. But honestly, some people are crazy and they like stare at you through the door right here when we like come out, and because that's my wheel. Like, I know Brent is amazing, but that's my favorite guy. If you guys ever want like a kiln, or not a kiln, but like a pottery wheel review, I have so many that we could talk about and why I love them for all different reasons. But this guy is my favorite, so I think I'm just gonna set up. And if people come in, people come in. Like, they're not coming in, but they can knock on the window and try. All right, you guys are gonna come through the whole process with me, and we're gonna start with an apron and gather our tools, and then let's go. Because you clicked on this video, you already kind of generally know what we're making today because it was on the thumbnail. So we are grabbing stuff that I designed out of my sketchbook and seeing if we can make it come to life. So for the next few videos, I have some vases that I made and some mugs. And then for this one, I am really focusing on this little altered flower pot. It's like if you go pick wildflowers in your yard, or you have really beautiful like cuttings from your flower garden and you want to put them on your kitchen table. That's more of what this is. And I just thought the concept was really cool. I saw it in maybe Ceramics Monthly where another potter made something similar to this, and I wanted to put my own spin on it. I really do believe that you should always, if you like something and you want to make it yours. Don't copy theirs, make it yours. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm trying to make it mine. So I drew out the concept and now I'm gonna make it come to life. So we are doing just that today. So we're really throwing, and I'm throwing this bottomless, so I am going all the way down to the bat and opening it up. I did not measure this because obviously this is coming from my drawing where I'm like, I don't really know how much clay to use. It was all a guessing game here just to get some good little demos to see what I liked and what I didn't like. So we're throwing just a hollow cylinder. It's probably about 3.5 inches tall. And I'm making this one straight. I did a few different designs just to get different concepts of them, and I'll show you guys at the end of the video what those look like. I really like the idea of making these bottomless so I could alter the base of this and we're gonna make them oval as well. And here I actually forgot to put a little gallery because it's also gonna have a lid. So my wooden tool here is straight. I ground it so it's just a flat edge, and I'm just gonna create a little gallery here so I can slab a lid on this in a few minutes just to make sure that I have a little spot, because you don't want like all the water and stuff to just be chilling there. We want to make sure that we can actually put the flowers in nicely, and I like having the flower separations. If you guys have came into the studio, you've seen us on Mother's Day. We throw a vase that has a whole lot of, it almost looks like a actual heart, like a It looks like a heart. It's a little crazy looking, more like an artery. I don't know how to describe it, but it's got all these little separations and it's like a triangle, and it really does divide the flowers and it makes them absolutely beautiful. I'll put a clip up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I really wanted to do that same concept with this. I wanted to show that, you know, we can have those little dividers and those little separators just so it looks nice and clean and you can really see that. So I'm busting these out really fast just so you can see generally how this is done. And I'm making 2 of them because this one was my favorite and I really wanted to show it. And I just shaped it out a little bit differently and of course give it a gallery and get it all nice and clean. I'm also really taking in mind here that this clay is going to shrink, so these are going to be pretty small. And a little fun fact is that clay shrinks more than your jeans in the dryer, so make sure you remember that when you are measuring the things that you're trying to make. It's going to shrink, and on the clay boxes themselves, they usually say how much they shrink. So make your own little ruler out of clay so you can see how much they actually shrink. They are so handy in the studio, trust me. So now that we have thrown these pieces, I'm going to slab out some clay. We're going to magically come back with some pre-rolled slabs. I have the slab roller, but it's all the way across the room, and I did not feel like bringing it all the way over here because it was late when I was filming this, and we were just going to walk it away. And now I'm going to grab this pot, and we are going to measure it, being very careful because I did not wait to throw these, or to trim them. I'm not trimming them at all. So these are going straight from the wheel and directly to the slabs. I did not wait the next day. This is all done at the same time. I was a little nervous about that, but I really wanted to see if I could make it and finish it all at the same day. And I did, and they turned out great. And so we're going to slab this, and then I'm going to measure how big I want the base to be. So I'm just going around that base, and then we'll cut that out just to make it so it's all nice down there. All right, we got it all cut and ready. Now we're gonna take a serrated rib and some water. I don't really use slip, something that is weird for us. I was never taught to do anything with slip. I was always taught to make my own as you're building. So that is what I do in a lot of these. You won't see me use like a slip and score kind of thing. I usually just score it like crazy and build my own slip and then clean it up. So I'm taking my sponge and I'm cleaning up, and then I'm gonna flip this and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. So very gently, because remember, we just threw these and we don't want to mush them too much because you also have to keep in mind clay has memory and it will mess with you. So don't mush it too much. We don't want to move it as much as possible. Now I'm just going around now that it's flipped upside down, and I'm really making sure that it is completely sealed. So going around with my fingers, I like to tell everybody our hands are our best tools. Especially when hand building, I use my hands more than any other tool really, besides the sponge. So take that with a grain of salt, and everybody is a little different. And it depends on what you're working with. I also have this little purple paintbrush in my toolkit, and if it goes missing one day, I might cry. So there's that. Now I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to measure this, like the top part for my lid. This was very experimental. I have not made slab lids in a long time. I almost always throw my lids. So I really wanted to play with the idea of having a completely flat lid, and I didn't want to throw them. I know you could throw like a flat plate kind of thing and alter it. I really wanted to play with the idea of slabbing it out and seeing if it worked. And this one, it was definitely a test, because this first one that I did, you guys will see it in just a second, but I don't know what I did, but it did not work. So went through all of this, got it all cleaned up, laid it on the top, and realized it has a weird spot on it, and I ended up cutting too much, and it was already too small, and that just isn't going to happen. So I went through all of that just to redo it. But when you guys are doing it, you really want to make sure everything is smooth. So everything needs to be nice and soft, and you can see my face. I am like the most visual face person in the world. I'm just like, nope, not gonna happen. So scrap that. We're gonna do it again, and I didn't have enough clay here, but I tried, and then we're going to do it on that other slab that I have over there. So enjoy this process. I'm going to turn on some music, and you guys can watch me figure my life out over here. All right, as I'm cutting this out, I also want to tell you guys that I already pre-altered this. So I cut this scene out just because it took me a second, and I just added some little texture and divots to this piece. I really wanted to make them a little bit unique in their own way and create some flair to them. I'm trying really hard to find, I know a lot of people go to art school and they find their style, they find, how they want to do things. I never went to school for pottery. I've only done workshops and trained because we are generations of potters. So it has been years and years and years of just being surrounded by it and training by doing workshops and learning from others that are master potters. I have never gone to school directly to find my style. And it's something that I've always struggled with just a little bit because I have so many ideas and I love being able to play with them, but also you really want to be able to look at a pot and say, oh, that's done by so-and-so. And that's kind of what I'm challenging myself this year to really focus on. I'm really trying to find that unique style and customize my work so I fall in love with it a little bit more. So let's go and let me show you guys what these look like when they're done. All right, you guys, I finished making the pots and I have to come back tomorrow, but I want to show you guys a little sneak peek before we come back so you guys can actually see what they look like. So this guy in the back, I think is going to be my favorite, but I'm scared to move him, so I can't really show too much. And then I've got this guy right here, which I'm slightly obsessed with. I think they turned out really good. And this guy back here, they're obviously propped, and these are their lids. They're just slabs because I am just putting a little slab on it. I'm not throwing the lid because everything, it's very hand built and altered. It's wheel thrown and then hand built bottoms, slabbed, very mix. It's a mix. And then these guys will come later. But just so you guys can kind of see, for now, this is what these guys look like. So we'll come back tomorrow and see if all the handles stayed. I'm going to cover these and pray that everything stays good. All right, we're coming back the next day, and this is what they look like. They dried. I moved all of the pieces, and you guys can see I can lift these up now. I added holes. I used a hole cutter and punched a whole bunch of random holes all over here. Enough so my fingers, I really wanted it to be easily to grab, so I did 3 holes on the top that are bigger so our fingers fit in there. And it makes it so you can just lift these off a little bit. But I really like how they turned out. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I will be glazing them soon. So put in the comments what colors you guys want to see them. I'm thinking I'm going to spray glaze them, and I'm really hoping some reds if possible. They might turn out blue. Who knows? Put your comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.